Esquire's in the building, man. How we doing, brother?
Esquire's in the building. We also got Esquire. We want you to get off real quick. We also got John Norrie. We're gonna get to later, and Christopher Hogan. But Esquire, go ahead and rock.
What's going on, good people? Y'all hear me good?
Yes, sir. We hear you good. You got the floor.
Yes, sir. Leroy, what's going on? I didn't catch my other brother's name, who's making some real insightful points.
Yes, sir.
But I want to start by saying, Mike, you just acknowledged it, man. I've been a Cole fan for a long time, and I saw it playing out somewhat like this, not exactly like this. As a man, I respect and understand, protecting your peace. I certainly do. But I'd be lying to you if I said that as a diehard hip hop fan, I was deeply disappointed. But I'm gonna just unpack it. I said that Kendrick called J. Cole's bluff, and he made a chess move. And the reason why it was a chess move is because, number one, Cole and Kendrick are friends. Leroy talked about it. They aren't just friends. They are friends who have aligned themselves as the two that are going to take over the industry. They were supposed to do an album together. Obviously, that's been deaded in the last few years. Cole brought Kendrick out on tour. He produced High Power, which honestly opened Kendrick up to a lot of J. Cole's fan base. J. Cole has brought Kendrick out at Dollar and the Dream shows before. Kendrick has brought Cole out at shows, and they do nothing but big each other up. Now, the reason why that's important is because I said that if Cole responds with an equivocal kind of song that bigs up the artist, but at the same time tries to diss him, it's going to come off as half-hearted, and it's not going to get the reception that he wants. That kind of played out, though. Although I thought the song was actually good, I thought it was proportional to the jabs that Kendrick threw on Like That, which probably at most 4 bars were directed at Cole. I felt like Cole's response was appropriate. Wasn't the greatest diss ever. Wasn't anything to lose my mind over, but it was good. But I also said that if he was going to try to get that instant response that got the public on his side immediately, it was going to have to be something very vicious, which is really uncharacteristic for Cole. And as I said before, in the game of life and in rap, anytime you let somebody else get you out of character, you already lost. Now,
that's right. That's right.
What's different about this is that Cole admitted that he was out of character, and it was weird. Like, he did it 2 days after the song came out. It got mixed reviews, but you can't really read into the mixed reviews, Mike, because like you said, people are gonna ride for that guy. It's Jay-Z fans to this day that say Ether is garbage, and we know that's not the case. But in any event, the reason why this was uncharacteristic for Cole is because you can really just look at his career. Cole's biggest problem as an artist has always been that he wants to please everybody. In the words of Kendrick, you can't please everybody. Let's go back. Let Nas Down. Let's think about why he recorded the song Let Nas Down and how the public reacted to it. He recorded Let Nas Down because he got a call from No ID that Nas was disappointed that he recorded Workout because he felt like Cole was the one and he didn't have to take that route. So Cole did Let Nas Down, which I believe is a great record. I believe at this point in time, it's aged much better than people foresaw it aging. How many years has it been? 11 years ago when it dropped. But wow. People were like, why do you care what Nas thinks about you, bro? You on top of the world. All right, that's one example. False Prophets. Even when he was going at Kanye and he was talking about how all of his music was declining, he still approached it from a place of respect. He talked about college dropout through graduation and how he was so hungry, and now his stuff is uninspired. So it wasn't, I didn't really take that as a diss anyway, but I think the problem that Kanye fans and really just the general public had with it is that, well, you got half of your sound from Kanye, number one, which nobody will deny. Even Cole will tell you that. He was trying to produce on the warm-up in the first couple of albums. He's biting Kanye's drums. He's exploring the college themes, all that. But not only that, it's like, man, if you're going to diss him, go after him. And I felt like he was kind of trying to play both sides with that a little bit. It goes on. On KOD, he had a song called 1985, the intro to the Fall Off. And he was addressing all of these rappers that were druggies, that were doing trendy stuff, that weren't going to be around. And obviously, the one artist that everybody remembers from that is Lil Pump, who had the song, had an entire crowd screaming, fuck J. Cole, right? So what does Cole do? And I actually feel like this was a boss move, but it's still in the vein of wanting to please everybody. What did he do after that? He pulled Lil Pump to the side and did a whole interview with him and really tried to tap into his psyche about what he values as a fan of music and just where his head was at as a young kid. You know, same thing with the No Name diss, Snow on the Bluff. That wasn't a diss. I feel weird calling it a diss. That situation was about the fact that he felt like No Name called him out and called Kendrick out because they're the two main preeminent artists that sell records doing conscious music. And when the internet called him to task and said, "Oh, what did they say he was?" They said you are tone policing a black woman. You know,
wow.
I consider myself to be a politically conscious person. I don't think what J. Cole did was tone policing in any kind of way. I felt like No Name, if you're gonna call him out, everybody knows you didn't say any names, but we know how subliminals work, and we know who fell into that. And Cole gave an appropriate response, but then when the internet got upset about it, then he came out and did this long soliloquy about why you need to go No Name and why I didn't mean it that way. Like, dude, just stand on your opinion. That's always been my biggest gripe with Cole, that he tries to please everybody, and you can see that through his process. Even when everybody was complaining about the fact that he never strays away from other producers, which is it's actually a valid criticism. You know, that's what makes the offseason a really good album, is that he didn't pigeonhole himself to just rapping over his own beats. But the fact that he actually switched it up immediately after everybody saying, you know, we're tired of you not doing features, we're tired of hearing you over your own beats. He listened to it and he heeded to it. But it shows that he cares a lot about public opinion. So right now, that's where we find ourselves. And it's like you can really sense, even though I feel like the song was good, because Cole is a craftsman. He's a great songwriter. He's a great rapper. But you could hear it that he was somewhat iffy about the angle that he took in dissing Kendrick. All right, so there were some valid things that he did say. Kendrick has not fallen off. Let's be clear about that. But when he says that you're still doing shows but fell off like The Simpsons, to somebody that's true. The numbers are there, but the actual quality of the music and the consensus response that the previous albums generated was not the same for Mr. Morale and Big Steppers. I actually feel like this concession that Cole just did was so unnecessary, and that's what makes it so disappointing, is because Kendrick really did have to respond to that. Whether you felt like this song was weak or not, if Kendrick didn't respond to it, that's a 1-0 for Cole. I actually felt like this was a win for Cole prior to him coming out and, you know, conceding and saying, you know, something doesn't sit right with him.
Right.
But the one thing I would go ahead. I feel like
I want to get two more callers in here real quick to answer what you said, Esquire, because you're dropping some real jewels. Christopher Hogan and what's some other man's name? John Norrie. What's your thoughts on what Esquire is dropping real quick?
I mean, shout out to A2HH, man. Y'all doing a great job, man. I just want to say salute to y'all on the show and everything. Love the show. And I mean, Esquire is making some good points, man. Like, you know, giving a breakdown of the whole J. Cole, like, mental, how he go about and how he approach, like, different, you know, sides of confrontation inside hip hop. You know, so salute to y'all, man. I just want to say salute to y'all. And to me, I just feel like the same way y'all feel, like if you either gonna go all in or not do it at all. You know what I'm saying? So
appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, brother. Man, check us back on Wednesday, man. Appreciate it, brother. John Norrie, what's good?
What's good, y'all? What's good to everybody? Panel, chat, H2 Hip Hop. I definitely just started catching on to y'all and respect what y'all do, man. Some strong conversations over here. But basically, I like to add in that Cole needed to log off, man, because the hip hop blogs, they got him he got him questioning everything about his legacy, his impact, what he means to the culture. You got to log off, man. And I think after he put out this diss track, he went outside into the streets, probably the first time in a long time, and all he heard all weekend was bum, bum. That's all he heard all weekend, and he got some cold feet. And that's what happens with, you know, a lot of these online fans of the culture. When they come outside and when it don't reflect what they see online, they get confused. Wait, why am I keep playing Future all the time? He's been running it. You're trying to go against the king of Atlanta and the king of LA. Yeah, it might be some turbulence. Maybe you should think about it before you release a track trying to destroy this man's discography, going against the hitmaker and possibly the most celebrated MC in the last 10 years or so. Yeah, maybe you should think about it. Because these internet themes that you're trying to get off on this diss track, it ain't gonna connect to everybody outside of your own like fan base. So I understand it, and I got a lot of respect for Cole. But when this shit goes back to Bumblebee and Kool Moe D, yeah, it's gonna be some turbulence, dog. This is in the culture.
So that's
I mean, y'all can piece it up after. That's all I got.
That's what's up, John. Hit us back on Wednesday, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Salute.
That's fine. We got to have you come back through, man. I love your analysis, and I know the people do too. So we definitely got to have you come back through. And yeah, man, Wednesday we could pick this thing back up. I know we're running short on time. We appreciate you jumping in.
Hey, shout out to that shirt, Esquire.
I think that's a great.
What was that, Super
shout
Duper?
out! I said shout out to that shirt, Esquire. I like that shirt, man. It remind me of my freshman year in high school.
Esquire came clean with it today with that analysis on J. Cole. You know,
I think he broke down J. Cole better than anybody I've seen all day. Because you're right. He tries to please everybody, and you gave a myriad of examples throughout his whole career. And I think that the mixed reaction from what he dropped Friday and him getting on stage at Dreamville Fest doing what he did was another example of it. It's just a pattern, and you called it. You called this weeks ago. You did.
I just want to say one thing before y'all let me go, man.
Go ahead.
So even with all of that, I do want to caution the fans not to be prisoners of the moment. So certainly this impacts his legacy negatively, even. But I don't think that this diminishes what he's already done in terms of the work he's put in and what he's shown and proven. So what that looks like in a tangible sense, he hasn't declined on anybody's list, in my opinion. But it does put a ceiling on how far he can elevate and who he can pass on that all-time list. We know for damn sure he ain't Kendrick now. And I knew that anyway, just based off the catalog. But you know, it is what it is. You know, time will tell. I'm still looking forward to the fall off. People can say what they want to say. They still gonna listen to it to see if he contradicts himself or not. So